Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about wealth, being in the energy of wealth and abundance. And what does that actually mean? Now, we when we think of being in alignment with wealth and abundance, we're thinking of manifestation. We think of money. We think of financial gain. We think of being comfortable, living, being able to get the things we want, not worrying about bills and rent and things like that. All things that are very important. But there's actually more aspects to wealth. Look at the 5 points of the pentagram or the Luciferian star. We already know that they align with the elements earth, air, fire, water, and ether. But these can also be in alignment with the aspects of the human existence. That's going to be your spiritual, your mental, your physical, your emotional, and yes, your financial. These are the 5 things that make up the human experience. Now, when all of these things are in alignment or in balance and in harmony, then you could actually truly say that you're living in a state of wealth and abundance, right? It does not make sense for you to be you're not in alignment with rest and peace and abundance as far as your mentals go, your emotional state. You're not doing your spiritual work, so your spiritual practice is off. So these things don't make sense. You cannot be in harmony with one without being in harmony with all of them. And in fact, most people don't know, but your financial aspect, the aspect that people put the most emphasis on, is actually the least significant and the least point of resistance. If you knew and you understood the energy of money, what we're fixing to be talking about right now, the energy of wealth, sorry, not money, but the energy of wealth and abundance, you would understand that your least point of resistance is the money aspect. In other words, if you got everything else aligned, money would automatically flow, because money is the most materialistic thing, right? That means it's the most dense, it's the most physical plane of existence, which means it is really in all honesty, in all aspects, it's the easiest thing to obtain because it is the most dense. Spiritual and the higher qualities like enlightenment, oneness with the pure consciousness, with the divine or the divinity, and all those things are going to be on the higher plane, and it's going to be more work to obtain. So your physical aspects, the money aspects, is on this side, which is the easiest to obtain if you understand the true energy of wealth and abundance. So what are we talking about here? What are we saying? What are we suggesting? We're suggesting this. The first thing we need to do is look at the perspective of things. Because we do not know our divinity, because we do not know our power, because we don't know who we truly are and what we truly are, we are looking at things from a lower perspective. And in that perspective, money becomes the giant. The physical aspects of life becomes the giant. And so then where attention goes, energy flows. And because our attention is on a lower, denser aspect of the human experience, that means that our consciousness is on a lower aspect. It's on the material world. So we stopped looking at the spiritual, and now we're looking at the material. Even though the higher qualities, such as the spiritual plane and the spiritual realm, which holds our mental and emotional and all those things, are on a higher polarity, and those are the things that generate the energy of what you see as wealth in the physical manifestation. Because these things come first, that's where our attention and our mind should be on. But because we don't know that, because we were born in a state of forgetfulness, so all we see around us is the physical, and we haven't been taught that in school like we should have been. Now our attention and our focus is on that physical aspect, that money aspect, not realizing that there is a whole law and energy that precedes that is more potent and more powerful. And if we can get that in alignment, then everything else will be in alignment. So going back to the star, going back to the pentagram, going back to the element, and going back to even the Baphomet, as above, so below. People are looking at these symbols as something very evil and something very wicked. The people that don't understand this. Now, us that is on this path and is doing this work, we know what all these symbols are saying. And this is why that you see the elites and the higher ups and the people who have made it and have the money. You see them doing these symbols and stuff like that. And we say, oh, they're Illuminati. Oh, they're wicked. Oh, they're evil. No, because they understand what these symbols are meaning. They're applying these symbols to their life so that they could be so that they can function on a higher polarity, in a higher state, in a higher consciousness, which is going to bring them in alignment in all these higher areas. And so the money will flow. They understand these things. It's us normal folks that don't understand. And so when you're looking at these symbols, let's take the Baphomet, for example, as above, so below. That is very important in terms of our wealth and being in that energy of wealth, because it's saying that everything that's happening on the higher planes is happening on the lower planes. Now, the lower planes, the plane that we're on, the physical plane where our consciousness is currently in, we actually have the least control of. In terms of in the bigger scheme of things, we actually have the least control over this. So it is very stressful and it is very hard to live a life where we are trying to control the physical matrix when we actually don't have too much control over the physical matrix at all anyway. So it's really an illusion. Who we are is pure consciousness. Who we are is infinite possibilities. That's the Bindu point of the Sri Yantra. That is the infinite divine spark that creates everything that you see. And we are a part of that spark, which means we have that same power in us. But why are we not creating? It goes back to perception. Where is our being of consciousness? Once again, where our attention goes, energy flows. And all that's essentially saying is wherever you are in your awareness, that's the life, that's the reality that you're going to manifest into the physical, right? So with all that in mind, we see that the material aspect of all of this is the last thing. Research quantum physics. You're going to see that in everything, in the physical aspect, in this cup I have of coffee right here, there is an energy pool. There is a auric field of energy around that. And there's energy constantly coming and going from that cup that's creating this shape, that's creating this form. But the energy planes are first. The energy planes connect to our mental, our spiritual, our emotional. These are even our physical body. To truly understand the energy of wealth, you have to understand what the opposite is, what wealth is, the energy of wealth is not, which is poverty. What is poverty? You ever be around those people and they don't even have to say a word? They don't even have to pull nothing out of their pocket, and they could be dressed just as normal as me and you. And you say to yourself, dang, I know they have money. Why is that? It's because there's an energy associated. There's an energy tied to them. Right? There's an energy, there's something that you cannot see, but your auric field can feel. And you don't know this, you don't understand it, but you can feel it on them. And at some point in time, whether consciously or subconsciously, their awareness accepted the idea and the energy of wealth in all areas of their life, in all areas of their being. And in somewhere, whether consciously or subconsciously, they came into alignment in all areas of their being. And that was the catalyst to allow them to generate a flow of money. So now, how can you do the same thing? How can you and I get into this area of wealth and generate this energy of money and wealth and prosperity, a flow of it, to where it is just constantly coming into our lives and we don't have to worry about it, because we're just constantly, first point we're going to look at is your mental. Now, your mental state is the state that you have the most direct control over it instantly. That's why we're going to start there. This is why a lot of manifestation teachers, they go with your mentals first, because you have the most direct control over your mental state. You have to allow room and space for abundance to flourish, right? Abundance and wealth, like I said, it is an energy first, and then it manifests in the form of money and things. That's the last aspect of it, but it is the energy first. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make sure you're going to do a mental inventory and really pay attention to what you think about. What are your daily thoughts? What are your daily affirmations? What do you tell yourself today and every day, at this very moment and every moment, about wealth and about abundance and about the idea of it? Do you think it's hard to attain? Do you think it's evil? Do you think you're worth it? Do you think you would deserve it? The problem with us is a lot of us have been programmed to think very bad things. We think that we are in poverty. We think that the world's against us. We think that we cannot make it. We think all these things, and it's a subconscious thing. And so we have to uncondition our subconscious mind to accept the fact that we are infinite possibilities in anything that we want, and assume that it's ours, will be ours as long as our energy and vibration matches it. So start there. Start by assuming that feeling. Think to yourself, what would an abundance person be doing right now? What would an abundance person be saying right now? How would an abundance person react to this? If myself in my highest aspect, what would I be doing? How would I emotion? It's mental, then emotional. Okay, so your emotional state, your thoughts create the emotions. So your emotions have to be in alignment with abundance. Now, what is abundance? What is the emotion of abundance? The emotions of abundance is happiness, it's peace, it's joy, it's a state of compassion, it's a state of gratitude. Now, gratitude is very powerful when it comes to the energy of abundance. If you want to truly be abundant, you have to be grateful for the things that you already have. Start by being grateful for the little things that you're getting, and start by seeing things that are changing in your life by your attitudes and your mental thoughts changing. Start seeing the little things that is increasing and being like, dang, and holding that, because that, when you hold that vibration, your subconscious mind is going to accept it as a fact. So start looking for ways you can validate your own abundance. If we start to be appreciative of the littlest things in our life, we can start seeing that stuff start to grow. And the more it grows, the more it validates what we're doing. The next thing is our physical state, our body. What is our bodies doing? How is our bodies in alignment? Now, this might not seem like it is connected, but I'm gonna tell you right now from personal experience, it's very connected. How are you taking care of your body? Are you working out? Are you eating good foods? Are you doing the things that you're supposed to do to make sure your body's... I have yet to see a truly abundant, rich person that is just wealthy, that's rich in this, in the state of who is lazy, who's out of shape, who's just, their body's just bad. They're tired. They're breaking down. Most of the people who are rich, who are positive, who are in that state of abundance and wealth, they're at the gym, right? They're working out. They're active. They're energetic. Their energy is flowing. It's not stagnant. It's flowing. It's flowing gracefully. Well, oftentimes it's not just an unseen thing. It's oftentimes it's a very physical aspect. That's why I said physical is one of the aspects of it. So, the physical part of energy flows. Energy has to flow. If energy does not flow, it becomes blocked and stagnant. So how do you expect this grand abundance energy to flow through you if you're not even moving the energy throughout your body? You can get it, you could receive it, but oftentimes we receive opportunities for abundance every day, but we cannot perceive it. It is not coming within our realm of sight and awareness because our energy is not flowing through. It's stagnant, right? Okay, next is your spiritual man. What are you doing spiritually? What practices, what spiritual regimen, spiritual practices are you doing this? Research practices, spiritual practices that will make room for that abundance. There's also practical practices that you're doing practically. Are you doing mantras? Are you raising your wealth vibration by connecting with the deities and the gods and goddesses and the energies of wealth? Are you adding that energy? When you master all these parts, the last thing to happen is the financial part. The part that everybody puts emphasis on is the last thing to flow. Money will not be stagnant. Money will flow easy. In fact, you will not have to manifest. One thing you can get from this whole thing is it actually starts with not even wealth and not even focusing on wealth and abundance per se, but focusing on alignment. True wealth and abundance, it doesn't come by money spells. It doesn't come by manifesting and visualizing until your face turns blue. It comes by being alignment and harmony with the ethers and with the universe. It comes by knowing that you are abundant, that you are infinite, and all you have to do is make room for that energy to flow within. as above, so below. Everything that happens on the higher planes and on the spiritual realm will definitely happen on the physical realm. Think of the elements: earth, air, fire, water, ethers. Think of the 5 points of the Luciferian star, which is the elements, but also the mental, the spiritual, the emotional, the physical, and then the financial is the last aspect to happen. Once you can get all these things in harmony with each other, in alignment with each other, once you can make room for that energy to flow throughout your body, you will begin to manifest. You will begin to automatically be in this place of wealth and harmony. And it'll begin to flow through you automatically without having to do anything but being. The number one catalyst to ruin all the work that you can do to get yourself in harmony and alignment with the energy of wealth and abundance is negative energy. Negative energy and doubt and fear will ruin everything for you. Will ruin everything for you. That is lower vibrational thought, and it has no place in the energy of wealth and abundance. So if you want to grow yourself, you have to be willing to do the work to let go of those negative thoughts and emotions. Once you can do that, the energy and the abundance of wealth will automatically flow.